Today I stand before you to talk about a mindset that separates winners from quitters, achievers from dreamers, and leaders from followers, the mindset that defeat is not an option. Life will test us, challenge us, and sometimes even try to break us. There will be moments when the road ahead seems too steep, the obstacles too big, and the failures too painful. But in those moments, we must remember that failure is an event, not a person. The only real defeat is when we choose to give up. When we adopt the mindset that defeat is not an option, we become unstoppable. We learn from setbacks, we adapt, and we grow stronger. Success is not about avoiding failure, but about rising every time we fall. So my friends, let us embrace challenges, push past our limits, and believe in ourselves even when no one else does. Because the truth is, the only way to truly fail is to stop trying. Defeat is not an option. Keep pushing forward. One of the biggest misconceptions people have about failure is that it defines who they are. But the truth is, failure is nothing more than a temporary setback, a lesson in disguise, and an opportunity to grow. No great success has ever been achieved without overcoming obstacles and setbacks. Every mistake, every rejection, and every downfall is just a chapter in the larger story of success if we choose to keep going. Think about it. When a child learns to walk, they fall countless times, yet they never stop trying. They stumble, they cry, but they always get back up. Why? Because quitting is never an option for them. They don't see falling as failure, they see it as part of the learning process. The same principle applies to every aspect of life. The only way failure becomes permanent is when we give up. When we decide that we are not good enough, that our dreams are too far-fetched, or that our struggles are too overwhelming, we allow defeat to define us. But those who succeed understand that failure is a temporary stop, not the final destination. Look at the world's most successful people, entrepreneurs, athletes, scientists, and artists. Every one of them has faced rejection, criticism, and failure. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination. Oprah Winfrey was told she was not fit for television. Even Steve Jobs was once removed from his own company. But none of them allowed failure to be the end of their journey. They saw it as a stepping stone, a redirection, and a lesson to be learned. It is not failure that holds us back. It is a decision to stop trying. The pain of temporary failure is nothing compared to the regret of quitting too soon. Success doesn't come to those who never fail. It comes to those who never give up despite failing. If we take a closer look at history, we will see that every great success story is built on a foundation of failures. The most inspiring leaders, inventors, athletes, and entrepreneurs we admire today were not born successful. Instead, they faced countless setbacks, endured rejection, and fought through struggles. What set them apart was their ability to keep moving forward, even when the odds were stacked against them. Take Thomas Edison, for example. He is known as one of the greatest inventors in history, having given the world the light bulb, the phonograph, and many other innovations. But what most people don't realize is that Edison failed over 1,000 times before successfully inventing the light bulb. When asked about his repeated failures, he famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Edison understood that failure was part of the journey, not the end of it. Then there's Michael Jordan, widely regarded as one of the greatest basketball players of all time. But before he became a legend, he was actually cut from his high school basketball team. Imagine how devastating that must have been for a young athlete. But instead of giving up, he used that rejection as motivation to train harder. He once said, "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed." His story teaches us that failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the path to success. Even in the world of business, we see the same pattern. Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, was fired from his own company at the age of 30. Most people would have given up at that point, but not him. He used that failure as an opportunity to learn, grow, and come back even stronger. Years later, he returned to Apple and transformed it into one of the most valuable companies in the world. Another powerful example is J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter. Before becoming one of the most successful authors in history, Rowling faced immense struggles. She was a single mother living in poverty, and her manuscript for Harry Potter was rejected by 12 different publishers before finally getting accepted. Had she given up after the first or second rejection, the world would never have known the magic of Harry Potter. The list goes on. Oprah Winfrey, who was fired from her first TV job; Albert Einstein, who was told he would never amount to anything; Walt Disney, who was told he lacked creativity. All of these individuals faced failures which could have ended their careers, but they refused to let defeat be their final outcome. These stories prove that failure is not the end. It is simply a test of persistence, resilience, and determination. The world does not remember those who gave up. It remembers those who fought through their failures and kept going. Every challenge we face in life comes with two choices. We can either see it as an obstacle that stops us, or we can see it as an opportunity that helps us grow. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up lies in how they perceive difficulties. Challenges are not meant to break us. They are meant to shape us, strengthen us, and prepare us for bigger opportunities. Now think about it. When a seed is planted in the soil, it has to push through the dirt, struggle against rocks, and reach toward the sunlight before it can grow into a strong tree. If it gave up at the first sign of resistance, it would never sprout. Similarly, in life, every struggle we face is like that layer of soil that is there to push us, teach us, and help us grow into stronger, wiser, and more capable individuals. Some of the greatest success stories in the world were born from adversity. Take Nelson Mandela, for example. He spent 27 years in prison, facing unimaginable hardship. But instead of letting the challenge break him, he used that time to grow mentally and emotionally. When he was finally released, he emerged stronger and wiser, eventually becoming the president of South Africa and a global symbol of perseverance. If he had given up, history would have been very different. The same applies to business, sports, education, and even personal life. Every successful entrepreneur, athlete, and leader has faced setbacks. Amazon's founder, Jeff Bezos, started his company in a small garage, and in the early years has struggled to make a profit. But instead of seeing the challenges as signs of failure, he saw them as lessons that helped him improve and grow Amazon into one of the world's biggest companies. Challenges are also what make us resilient. If everything in life were easy, we would never learn the true value of hard work, patience, and persistence. A bodybuilder doesn't gain strength by lifting light weights. Muscles grow when they are pushed beyond their comfort zone. In the same way, our minds, skills, and character grow when we are forced to push beyond our limits. Often, what seems like a problem in the moment is actually a blessing in disguise. Difficulties teach us problem solving, patience, and perseverance. They force us to think outside the box, to find new solutions, and to become more resourceful. Many people who lost their jobs at some point in their lives later discovered their true passion and went on to start successful businesses or careers they never imagined before. One of the biggest mistakes people make is fearing challenges instead of embracing them. The moment we stop seeing obstacles as roadblocks and start seeing them as stepping stones, we unlock our true potential. Every setback is a lesson, every difficulty is an opportunity, and every challenge is a test to see how badly we want to succeed. When we shift our mindset, we stop making excuses and we start finding solutions. The truth is, growth only happens when we step outside our comfort zone and face difficulties head on. Life is full of unexpected challenges, and setbacks are inevitable. But what truly matters is how we respond to them. Some people see setbacks as a sign to stop trying, while others use them as fuel to push even harder. The difference is mindset. A strong mindset has the power to transform failures into lessons, struggles into strength, and disappointments into motivation. When we encounter obstacles, our natural reaction is often frustration, doubt, or even fear. It's easy to feel discouraged when things don't go as planned. But if we train our minds to see setbacks as stepping stones rather than roadblocks, we develop the ability to bounce back stronger than before. Take Henry Ford, the founder of Ford Motor Company, as an example. Before achieving success, he had multiple business failures that left him bankrupt. Many would have given up. But he used those failures as learning experiences. He analyzed his mistakes, improved his business strategies, and ultimately revolutionized the automobile industry. His mindset was not one of defeat, it was one of learning, adapting, and persevering. The truth is, setbacks are not the end of the road, they are part of the journey to success. Many of the greatest innovators and achievers in history didn't succeed on their first try. They faced obstacles, rejection, and even humiliation. What made them stand out was their ability to turn those setbacks into stepping stones towards something greater. Think about Colonel Harlan Sanders, the founder of KFC. He was rejected over 1,000 times before someone finally agreed to invest in his fried chicken recipe. Most people would have quit long before reaching that point, but he didn't. His mindset was unshakable. He saw each rejection as one step closer to success rather than a reason to stop trying. A strong mindset also means shifting how we interpret failure. Instead of seeing it as a reflection of our abilities, we should see it as an opportunity to analyze, adjust, and improve. Athletes do this all the time. When they lose a match, they don't walk away and give up on their dreams. They study what's wrong, train harder, and come back even stronger. The same principle applies to business, academics, relationships, and personal growth. Another important aspect of a strong mindset is resilience, the ability to keep going despite difficulties. Resilient people do not let challenges define them. Instead, they use challenges as stepping stones to become wiser, stronger, and better prepared for future opportunities. Every time we overcome a difficulty, we become more confident and capable. The way we talk to ourselves also plays a crucial role in developing a strong mindset. If we constantly tell ourselves, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough, we create mental barriers that prevent us from growing. But when we shift our self-talk to this is a challenge, but I will figure it out, or face obstacles before, and I've overcome them, we train our minds to stay focused. Success is not about never failing. It's about how many times you get back up after you fall. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who don't is not luck, talent, or intelligence, it is resilience. Resilient people refuse to stay down when life knocks them over. They understand that setbacks are a natural part of the journey and that every failure brings them one step closer to success. Life is unpredictable and challenges are inevitable. Whether it's a personal failure, financial struggle, rejection, or an unexpected loss, setbacks can feel overwhelming. However, what truly matters is how we respond to those challenges. Do we let them define us, or do we use them as motivation to push forward? True success belongs to those who refuse to quit, no matter how many times they fall. Take Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba, as an example. Before becoming one of the richest entrepreneurs in the world, he faced multiple rejections and failures. He was rejected from Harvard 10 times, failed in his early business ventures, and was even turned down for jobs at KFC and other companies. Most people would have lost hope, but he kept pushing forward. He once said, "If you don't give up, you still have a chance." Giving up is the greatest failure. His resilience eventually led to the creation of Alibaba, one of the largest e-commerce companies in the world. Another powerful example is Sylvester Stallone, the famous actor and writer of Rocky. Before he became a Hollywood star, he was rejected over 1,500 times when trying to sell his script. He was so broke that he had to sell his dog just to afford food. But instead of giving up, he held on to his dream and kept pushing forward. Eventually, his script was accepted, and he was given the lead role in Rocky, which became one of the most iconic films in history. His story proves that resilience can turn even the lowest points into incredible success stories. Resilience is also about learning from failures instead of fearing them. Every setback carries a lesson, but only those who are willing to get back up will have the chance to apply what they've learned. Think about Thomas Edison, who failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. When asked about his failures, he responded, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This mindset is what allowed him to keep going until he succeeded. Another key aspect of resilience is mental toughness. Life will throw challenges our way, and sometimes things will seem unfair. we will experience heartbreak, disappointment, and failures. But instead of letting these experiences break us, we must let them make us stronger. Resilient people don't let pain define them, they use it as fuel to become better. One of the most important things to remember about resilience is that it's not just about getting back up, it's about coming back stronger. Each time we rise after a setback, we gain new knowledge, develop better strategies, and become more prepared for future challenges. Resilience is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. Life is not always fair, and success is never guaranteed. There will be times when everything seems to go wrong, when obstacles pile up, and when it feels like the world is against you. But true winners do not let difficulties stop them. They keep moving forward no matter what. They understand that setbacks, failures, and hardships are all part of the journey to greatness. It's easy to feel motivated when things are going well, when opportunities come easily, when progress is visible, and when success seems within reach. Pushing forward feels natural. But what about when nothing seems to work? What about when doors keep closing, when progress is slow, and when self-doubt creeps in? That is the true test of a winner, the ability to keep going when everything seems impossible. History is full of stories of people who refused to give up, even when the odds were stacked against them. Take Elon Musk, for example. Today, he is one of the most successful entrepreneurs in the world, known for companies like Tesla and SpaceX. But before achieving success, he faced numerous failures. In the early years of SpaceX, his rockets fired multiple times, costing millions of dollars. Many investors and experts told him that space exploration was impossible for a private company. He was on the verge of bankruptcy, but instead of giving up, he pushed forward, learning from his mistakes and improving his technology. Eventually, SpaceX became the first private company to send a spacecraft to the International Space Station. Another inspiring example is Helen Keller. She was blind and deaf from a young age, and most people believed she would never be able to communicate or lead an independent life. But with determination and hard work, she not only learned to read and write, but also became a renowned author, activist, and speaker. Her story proves that even when the odds are against you, persistence and effort can lead to incredible success. Winners don't wait for perfect conditions, they create opportunities. Many people give up because they believe they don't have the right resources, background, or connections. But those who truly want to succeed find a way, even when the situation is difficult. They work with what they have, they adapt, and they keep pushing forward. Excuses do not exist in the mindset of a true winner. Another key quality of winners is their ability to ignore negativity and rejection. Every successful person has faced critics, doubters, and people who told them they would never make it. Imagine if the Wright brothers, the pioneers of aviation, had listened to those who said humans could never fly. Imagine if J.K. Rowling had stopped trying after being rejected by multiple publishers. Imagine if Abraham Lincoln, who failed in business, lost multiple elections, and faced deep personal losses, had given up on his dream of leading his country. If they had quit, the world would have never known their greatness. Pushing forward despite adversity requires mental strength, courage, and unshakable belief in oneself. Winners know that nothing worth achieving comes easily. They embrace difficulties as part of the journey, knowing that each challenge they overcome makes them stronger, smarter, and more prepared for success. They refuse to accept defeat because in their minds, defeat is not an option.